Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is the 25th of February. Rolling along. I wanted to thank each of you who were so kind, giving nice wishes to my son, and so did he. He asked me to thank you. It meant a lot to him, and it meant a lot to me too. I really appreciated it. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about Scientology and Xenu, and trying to kind of fit this all together. Before I start, I want to mention Debbie Cook. He's getting sued by the Church of Scientology. Way to go, David Miscavige. Keep it up, man. You're doing such a great job of showing the world what an awful, phony, non-church you people are. Here's one of your members who's just trying to help your church. And what do? End up declaring her suppressive, which means nobody in the church can talk to her at all, or they get declared. And charging her what is it, $47,000? She's gonna have. I think they charged her $300,000, but she needs $47,000 to fight him. Now, granted, you may, I don't want to always be saying, can you donate to this? Can you donate to that? Don't feel like you have to. But if you want to, if you have some extra money, if you can donate a little bit, I'm going to put the link here for her fund, because I think this kind of thing is going to bring out a lot of good stuff. Hopefully she will depose David Miscavige. I would love to see that one. That would be very cool. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on it. I'm going to put the link there anyway. I'm also going to put the link to Heber Jentz and Phil Donahue. Phil Donahue was a talk show host 100 years ago, but a really good one. And man, he nails Heber over and over and over. It's really worth listening to. It's very good. So I'm going to put that link there too. Now, what about Xenu? You guys know about it. You've heard about it. That's why I call it the Truman Show, because believe it or not, the mass majority of people that are in this triangle called the Church of Scientology have never heard the word Xenu, including the staff. Now, because of the internet, because of the critics, because of Anonymous, because of the ex-Scientologists, they very well may have now heard the word Xenu. But Scientology is really good at dead agenting it, which means making it not true. You don't believe everything those people say. Look at them. They don't care about us. They're just blah, 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 blah. They're apostates. First of all, let me just state that right away. I'm not an apostate. No, that doesn't fit. I have another definition, but you've got to come talk to me, Scientology, to learn what it is. Which they won't. That's another thing. So I basically speak out against the abuses. But I heard this thing about Marty, and he's saying, no, Xenu isn't really a huge part of Scientology. And I know for a lot of people that's like, huh? How could that possibly be? Even me, but then I had to think about it, and I thought, well, I am not an independent, but it could be they do, because remember, it's a bridge that's like a triangle, right? And so a large portion of it has nothing to do with Xenu. That's why most of the staff, most of the public have never even heard the word. You have to really work your way and pay your way up to OT3, which is where you find out about Xenu. And stay after that to keep hearing about it, right? But it definitely does have to do with it from these high points on the bridge on up. But how many people make it? I think there's something like 1,500 OT8s and a matter of thousands of OT3s. There's not like a ton. So most of the people that you meet, they don't know about Xenu. And as far as outside the church with the independents, I have no idea. I mean, they may do more of the lower bridge, which would mean, no, it doesn't really have a whole lot. It isn't the key factor on it. In the church, it is the key factor on it, because it's money. It's the biggest money. And Hubbard was into working people up to it so they could get that money, right? Now, I can't speak for the independents either way on it. So the guys that I know some independents, and they're just pretty much into using the tech, helping people. I don't want to have this be some big war for or against Marty. I'm just trying to explain how he could have said that and how it could fit in what I think he meant. Maybe he didn't. If he didn't, he can explain that. But that's what I think happened, and I can see where that could happen. My biggest thing is the abuses of the Church of Scientology. I'm not here to say whether someone did have a win or didn't have a win. I don't really care. It's like that. That's true for all kinds of things. You can say, I'm a vegetarian and this works for me. It's not up to me to say, well, that isn't working for you. Do you see what I mean? It's kind of like people have their choices on how they live, what they're going to do. When it comes to abuse, that's a different thing. Like, stopping free speech is the Church of Scientology. Breaking up families is the Church of Scientology. Fair game is the Church of Scientology. Medical abuse is the Church of Scientology. Those are the main things. And roping in young kids and abusing them, that's the Church of Scientology. And those are things I'm going to keep speaking out until they stop it. I've told them that since basically the first time I was ever videotaped by Mark Bunker with Magoo dancing in Boston, and I said, as long as this is happening, I'll be here. And here I am. Ha! Maybe you could consider, stopping abusing people and families. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone who does speak out and expose them, because they are diminishing. Whether they can keep bullshitting everybody that they're expanding, but look at the videos. Everywhere we go, it's empty. There's very few people. There's very few staff. The main thing they're doing is buying buildings. And Mark Headley told me that was from Tom Cruise. So, way to go. What all of you are doing is definitely affecting people. I just talked to a girl yesterday who read Debbie's email, and from that, boom, she's out. That's it. She's under the radar still. There's a lot of people underneath the radar. And I hope you people come out. Because if everybody stood up and said, we're done with this, your family would be in touch with you. You would be free, and your family would too. Because they would realize, they would learn the information. And if you learned all the information, I have 100% no question you would be out of there. But if you keep your head dug in the sand, I can promise you a couple things. A, you're probably not going to get better. You're going to get worse, because that's what happens when you go up the bridge to total freedom in Scientology. For most people, you're also going to get ripped off a lot of money. You're going to continue running their guilt trips on you. And many people die way too young or commit suicide. So if you're in the Church of Scientology, I will say this to you. You can leave at any time. Most of us are out here. You're going to leave and go, oh my God, here's all my friends. Because that's where we are. We're out here. So come on out. We're having a good time. For the rest of you, thank you for continuing to pass on all the links and the information. I love you all. Peace out.